All right, let's talk about something we all deal with: mental resilience. You know, what it really means to stay strong when life gets tough, and maybe more importantly, how you can actually build that strength, one step at a time. This quote just nails a huge misunderstanding we all seem to have. We tend to think that being strong means being bulletproof, that you never, ever falter. But true resilience? That's not about building some impenetrable wall. It's about getting really, really good at the comeback. And that right there is the million-dollar question, isn't it? If resilience is a skill, something you do, not just something you are, then how in the world do you practice it? How do you build that muscle for getting back on your feet? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack. Okay, so before we jump into the how-to, we've got to be crystal clear on the what. Let's start with a simple, solid definition of what mental resilience even is. There it is, short, sweet, and actually pretty profound. Staying steady in tough situations. I just love that phrasing because it's not about being happy all the time or forcing yourself to be positive. It's about steadiness. It's like being the anchor in your own storm, holding your ground even when everything around you is just chaos. So if steadiness is the goal, how do we get there? Well, it turns out there's this fantastic framework of 3 core practices. Think of them like 3 pillars that hold up your resilience when it's really getting tested. And here they are, the big 3. First, you've got to accept problems. Second, you have to talk to yourself kindly. And third, you take small steps. Now, I know they might look kind of straightforward, but trust me, when you practice them together, they become an absolutely transformative tool. Let's break them down one by one. So pillar number 1 is the foundation for everything else: acceptance. It's wild how much energy we waste just wishing a problem wasn't there or trying to ignore it or pretending it's not a big deal. Real resilience starts the second you turn around, look that challenge right in the eye and say, okay, this is real, this is happening, because you can't navigate a storm you're pretending you're not in, right? Next up, we have to deal with our own inner monologue. When things go south, that inner critic can get so loud, can it? This pillar is all about intentionally changing that voice from a harsh critic into a compassionate coach. It's the huge difference between, ugh, I can't believe I messed up again, and wow, this is really hard, and it's okay to struggle. What's one thing I can do now? And this isn't about being soft, it's a strategic move. In fact, practicing self-compassion has actually been shown to lower cortisol, which is the body's main stress hormone. Pretty cool, huh? And here's the engine that drives resilience: momentum. When you're staring down a huge challenge, the idea of solving it all at once can be completely paralyzing. Pillar 3 tells us, hey, forget about the entire mountain for a minute. Just focus on the very next step. That's it. Send one email, go for a 5-minute walk. Each tiny little action sends a powerful signal back to your brain that says, hey, I'm still moving. I still have some control here. And that creates this awesome little feedback loop that makes the next step feel just a tiny bit easier. Okay, so now that we have the tools, let's use them to unlock a really major perspective shift. This is all about redefining what we think a strong person actually looks like. This is such a game changer. We have this myth that resilient people just have it easier, that life doesn't throw them as many curveballs. But the reality is they face just as much hard stuff as anyone else. The difference isn't their circumstances, it's their response. They are actively using those pillars we just talked about: acceptance, self-kindness, and small steps to work through the problem. Strength isn't a permanent state of being. It's a process. It's something you do. And that brings us to our final section, and honestly, it might be the most important one of all. This is a direct reminder to you, the person listening to this right now. After everything we've talked about, the ultimate takeaway is really, really simple. You already have this capacity inside you. These tools don't create strength out of thin air. They just help you uncover and build on the strength you already possess. You are stronger than you think.
So I'll leave you with this one last thought to chew on. Knowing all this is one thing, but actually using it is everything. The next time you feel completely overwhelmed or knocked down, what's the one idea from our chat today that you're going to pull forward? Will it be to just accept the situation for what it is? To speak a little more kindly to yourself? Or to just take one single small step? Because that choice, right there in that tough moment, that's where resilience is truly built.